Meghan Markle has shared her newest business venture and the Duchess has everyone talking this morning.
Good. Let's get some more. Here's our entertainment editor, Peter Ford. Hi, Pete. What's she done now?
Well, she has launched her range of favourite clothing line and accessories, and this has become available today. Now, you might recall a couple of weeks ago we were talking about the As Ever brand and how she was not permitted to sell clothing under that brand because there was a boutique in New York and also a much bigger line in China. So they closed that down very quickly. But today, this is launched. So what it is, you click on what you like and it will take you to the retailer who is selling it. So she's not actually selling it. It's kind of like Oprah's favourite things, but she is pointing you in the right direction if you love this stuff. Now, she makes it very clear there that she is getting a commission on some of the products. I guarantee you she's getting a commission or a kickback on every single one of those products listed. Now, also note there, very big bold type, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. This is where we get into a murky area because she is clearly using the title to promote the sale of this stuff. Now, where the grey area might come in is because she's kind of acting as a conduit. She's sending you somewhere else to buy it. Maybe that makes it not so much a business venture, even though she openly says she's getting the kickback. But some of the stuff is reasonably priced. What would I know about women's fashion? But it seems to be some in the $70, $80 range. Other things I think are pretty expensive. Those sunglasses there, how would you like them for $583? They can be yours, 583 Australian dollars. So, you know, things like that. Clearly, what would she get? A 10% commission, do you reckon, on everything?
This is our typical influencer behaviour.
Oh.
The click-through.
TIB.
Typical influence behaviour. So it is interesting, and she also uses the phrase a lot of you have been asking, which again is typical influence language. A lot of you have been asking, which usually means nobody's asked, but I need to put that up so that you can click through.
So it's like a meme.
I don't know, what do we think? I don't mind, I like it. It's everything that she wore on her show.
Yeah.
But the fact that she puts Duchess of Sussex...
Yeah, it's just not right.
Yeah, she kind of invites the criticism all the time.
If
but
she just
also,
said Meghan, what I wore Meghan, by Meghan...
Well, exactly, but also just to ensure that she is in the news cycle today, and the new photograph she's dropped as well, where we get a little glimpse of Lily and Lilibet Nachi there.
It's a cute photo.
A cute photo of some red hair. But once again, people are going to say, "Oh, you said the kids would never be used publicly," and certainly, you know, today's a day when she wants to get the hype going.
Was the caption because many of you have asked?
That's right. Yeah.
The world's demanding photos of the kids.
Yeah. Hey, Pete, a legendary journalist has spoken out about Meghan.
Yeah, so this is
we're
great.
Still on Meghan, I beg your pardon. I'm sorry, I thought we moved on, but no.
No. Graydon Carter is his name, and he was, for many years, the executive editor of Vanity Fair, so he mixed in some pretty amazing circles and had a lot to do with a lot of big-name stars. That famous cover there, way back when we first kind of got introduced to Meghan Markle, he's talked about that story and how he didn't really know who she was, he didn't even know what Suits was, but he decided to give her the cover because other people said, this is the woman who's going to be marrying Prince Harry. Get on board now. So they did, and they gave her that cover, but she wasn't happy. Meghan wasn't happy. But that's a shock because basically she said, I wanted the story to be much more about my philanthropic work and my charity work, and it became much more about Prince Harry. So if nothing else, it not only does it show she had an ego even back then, also shows she had no news sense either, because clearly the fact that she was marrying Prince Harry was the news story.
I'm sorry, I'm speaking out for Meghan here. I'm not buying for 1 minute that the editor of Vanity Fair wouldn't know who she was, because she was dating Harry at the time. I'm not buying that. And so he uses her, puts her on the cover, and then comes out and blasts her. I don't like that.
No, I don't like it. If Kylie doesn't like it, I don't like it even more.
Do you know, come on.
Yeah, I mean, please. Really. Let's ban that guy from the show.
Robbie Williams is celebrating an unusual victory.
Yeah, so this has gone on for about 11 years, where he's been fighting with his neighbours again, in particular with Jimmy Webb, no, Jimmy Page, always going to mix up, Jimmy Page, the former guitarist with Led Zeppelin. And basically what he's saying is Robbie wanted to pull down this old elm tree, which was fungus infested. And basically Jimmy Page said, no, don't do that. And so it's been going on all this time through various levels of council. And basically now Robbie's had the win. That tree has been taken down. It has been felled. So after 11 years, it's case closed on that.
If there's ever going to be something that brings a neighbourhood apart, it's an argument about a tree.
Yeah,
a tree,
a mouldy tree. Pete, rock legends Kiss have made a very exciting announcement.
They're back. Yeah, and if you had that feeling of, didn't they say they were retiring? Yes, of course they did, several times. And we had a farewell tour, no less. But now they are coming back later this year, but there's a catch. They're doing a one-off show in Vegas, and it's going to be what they call unmasked, which is actually a name of an album they brought out many, many years ago, and they will not have the makeup on. So it's clearly going to be a very different look. You know, they're going to basically, I mean, we kind of know what they all look like individually, because particularly with Gene, he's done a lot of reality TV stuff. But to see them up there doing the Kiss show without the Kiss makeup, and I assume that means the Kiss costumes as well, it might look like Dad's Army up there doing those numbers. So it's, you know, when you have created a look, you know, many years ago, the Village people decided to ditch the uniforms they had of the cop and the motorcycle guy, and they went for that look, the Renaissance look, Shakespearean kind of look, and it was a total bomb. And you know, and so basically, very quickly they were dusting off those uniforms and went back to what people knew and wanted. But also with Kiss, how crazy are they? Because with the Kiss makeup, they're kind of frozen in time. You know, they all still look like they did vaguely 40 years ago. They're not going to look like that when we see them on stage later this year.
Do you reckon they've just got to an age now where they're going, OK, we'll do the concert, but just couldn't be stuffed with the makeup, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to sit in the makeup chair for 3 hours again.
Anyway, Kiss braver than Larry and I.
Exactly.
It would never happen.
Never.
We don't go anywhere without a makeup.
No. We get makeup before we leave
filter.
the house in the morning, everybody, just in case we get pulled over by the cops and have to do a mugshot.
Thanks, Pete. We'll see you later in the show.